We also get featured in our NHRDN top 50 business schools of India. And second, I also happen to know your faculty dean here and also the director, Professor Thakur. Any invitation coming from them is a matter of privilege, so I am here. The most important why I am here, I also feel that any opportunity that I get to interact with youngsters like you, I always feel again very excited and very motivated to share some of my experiences, whatever little I have acquired over these years. Having said that, I would like to set the context. My presentation will take you through what the business environment is all about, how it has changed over the years. Some of us who were born in India earlier, pre-globalization area, and some of you are born in the new India with a huge change. So I will take you through those. And if those are the changes that we are experiencing now, then the second part I will share with you what kind of skill set and knowledge you must have to become globally employable managers. Today we are not talking India as your territory to work. The entire globe is yours to really share to your bit, and some of you can really make your mark to what some of our Indians have also done globally very well. Having said that, let me now start by igniting you that some of you, most of you rather, today all of you find yourself in a very exciting world. How many people feel in this classroom that yes, they are truly part of an exciting world? So most of you. So anyone, someone can tell me why do you think so? Why we are so much excited to be part of this world now? What is so significant, different than many of your parents who would have seen India of those years? Any guesses? No negative marks. So please feel free, even answer is wrong. We will collectively work towards finding the answers. Yes, please. Yes, thank you. Well done.
After completing the MBA, when I will going out of this institute, then I will be the part of this country's next development.
Good, very good. Yes.
Sir, actually the thing is that now it is an improvement in technology and innovation.
Yes. Absolutely right. He said technology and innovation. I will like to go along with you. Some of us, I did my MBA in as early as in '88, and let me confess with you, at that point of time, even to get a telephone connection used to be a big challenge. And I still remember my parents used to struggle to get telephone connection under OIT, non-OIT category, and then if you get a telephone connection, there used to be huge jubilation, oh, they got a telephone connection. But today, if anyone, even Panwala, Rickshawala will get a telephone connection, not a big deal. Everyone has got a telephone connections. So that telephone connection has changed the entire landscapes. Today, I am able to interact with you with the power of technology. We can relay this lecture across the world, isn't it? Today, by push of the button, you can book your movie tickets, you can book your pizza, you can book your airlines ticket. Yes or no? You can virtually buy anything through e-commerce. You can see I still remember whenever you have to go for a event to book your airlines tickets, you have to be in the queue. Even to draw money, you have to be in any bank queue. Today there are ATMs. Isn't it? There's so much, if you look at the power of technology, truly all of your experiencing, perhaps your parents would have not enjoyed in those years when they must be studying. I give it to you. He said about innovations. How much of innovation today has got? In my time, I never heard of Facebook, I never heard of Twitter. I never heard of even the concept like contest2win.com. So these things have really have changed the world. Today, by push the button, you can get any material by going to Google or any other similar tool to get any information. And I remember in my days of JNU, when I used to study over there, we used to have a lot of tutorials you will have in your classes as you go along, and also assignments, and we have to literally get books from American Library, British Council Library, JNU Library, or Delhi Public Library, and still we were not able to get the books. Today you don't have to literally go to those libraries. Again, by push of the button, any material that you want to access to prepare your material for your classes, it is easily accessible from anywhere part of the world. Yes or no? Yes. So that is the power of technology and the power of innovation as well. So, and literally, you are fortunate enough. That's what I said beginning of my statement, that you are today part of a very exciting world. Lots of things have changed. Yes, well done. Anything else? Why suddenly we find a different India? What are the reasons? Yes, please.
Education system.
Yeah?
People are much more educated.
Yes.
More aware that we should be educated. Our children should be educated.
Yeah, so you have more access to tap any source to make you more educated, more well qualified. Yes, what else? Why it is so happening? Because but I want to discover the reasons. Yes, please. Yeah.
Sir, because of the policy of 1990s LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization, sir.
Exactly. Globalization.
Sir, all this happening because
And
of
I,
it, sir. So as you told, sir,
I give it to you. You have done a very good answers to my question. Some of us who have studied pre-91, when India was not liberalized or globalized. Let me tell you one example. When we used to buy anything, we have to be in the queue. You buy a car, you have to be in the queue. You buy a scooter, you have to be in the queue. You buy even LPG cylinder, you have to be in the queue. You have to get telephone, you have to be in the queue. Because there were not many choices. There were only one choices, whatever it is there.
So,
and even if for car, if you look at, I remember that only two cars were used to be there, Fiat and Mercedes. Today you know how many cars are on the road and how many car production companies are in India. You may not remember all of them. So it is because of globalization. Agreed? Globalization. With the globalization, what has happened? The competitions. Do you agree? There is a competition for everything that you do. And every product you buy or services you take, there is a competition. Now if you want to even, for instance, LPG cylinder or for that matter, the telephone connection, today you see how many private or even government players are there. By push of the button, these company will come to you. But you okay, please buy our phone, please buy our instruments, please buy our car, please buy our scooters, please be our guest in our hotels. There's so much choices. So you had globalizations, with the onslaught of globalization, you had competitions. Yes or no? What else? After competition, what is the other thing that we are experiencing? Other than technology which has already been covered. Any other guesses?
sir,
Customer has become the king. All of you are, as customers, are king. To my, even for me, all of you are customer for my lecture. It is my job, when these people have invited me to share my insight, my job is to make you more richer in terms of your knowledge and skills when I finish my lectures. If I am able to give you that much of knowledge, then you will feel okay, truly it was worth attending this lecture. Otherwise, you know, what is this lecture? We already know about it. So my job is to engage you for next 1 hour. How do I, first of all, provoke you, ignite you, and then also stimulate you in a manner where you feel, oh yes, truly it is what he is telling us, it is true. And we have to then take it a roadmap or our agenda to make it happen in our own way, to make our careers. Okay, anything else? The customer has become, we said, globalization, competition, customer is king, technology has changed our landscape. Anything else?
Sir, rest is all the result of that policy, sir, of 1990 LPG.
Yeah. Absolutely. There are so many. Because I'm going to those particular questions. What is that you see? Globalization, competition, you have all said. You have not said about demographic dividend, Indians have a right. Anyone who can explain this? What do you mean by demographic dividend? Any volunteer? Yes, please.
So presence of Indian people around the globe.
Yeah?
Presence of Indian people around the globe.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yes, please sit down. Today, there are 37 Indian multinationals are headed by Indians. Can you name one? Can you name one? Just
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Excellent. Well done. You are so much well educated. Yeah. Anyone you want to add to Microsoft? Huh? There's so many, 37. You go to Google, you'll find the 37 like Microsoft CEO. Yeah.
Sir, Indra Nui.
Indra Nui, excellent. Rakesh Kapoor.
Nokia, sir.
Nokia, absolutely right.
Chandra Kochhar, ICIT.
Chandra Kochhar, of course, in India. So there are Indian company, I was not talking about, the global company is multinational. Of course, ICICI Bank is in its own way is a multinational, but they have origins from India. But nonetheless, there are 37s. Can you believe there are 7 top business schools deans are from India, including Harvard Business Schools. The dean of Harvard Business Schools, topmost, is from India, Professor Nitin Noria. So Indians have a right. If you today go, and I used to go many years ago when I was in my early age of my career to visit some countries, I not able to get even one Indian. It was very difficult to get in airport. Today, if you go to any airport and any flight originating to India, you will have most of the people from India. And if you go from here, you will have 50-50 at least. And you see virtually everywhere Indians. And today you must be also hearing my friend in US, somebody will say in Japan, somebody will say in France, somebody will say in China, so all everywhere there. But I have not still got the answer of your demographic dividend. Means India has this specific feature. The feature is that we have today in India as many as 70% young people like you, under the age of 20 to 30 years. This demographic dividend many countries doesn't have. The so-called developed economies doesn't have. Only few countries have. India, China, Brazil, all of these countries will have the advantage of this. They have a very young population. But at the same time, there is a challenge for all of us to get these 70 million people or whatever they are in terms of number to make them employable. Because everybody is not able to get chance to study in an institution like Jaipuria, which is one of the most prestigious institutions. There are many people doing MBAs, engineering, technology, MBBS, nursing from a very remote areas. They do not have access, the kind of access of the infrastructure, facilities, knowledge where everything you will have in this campus. So we have a huge challenge as India, that how do we make these young people that we are talking about, 70% of the population which is young, how can we make them employable? That's why our Honorable Prime Minister is saying, how can we create these people skillful? How do we make them skillful? You will find soon so much focus making everyone, right from carpenter to the manager, to make them employees. So it's a huge challenge as far as our country is concerned, but we have advantage. We have many more people, and you will find soon in every company you will find Indians. Because some of the developed economy like US, UK, France, Germany, Italy, they may not have the enough population to get these people hired for their companies. They will always look up to India or China to hire here, provided they are skillful, provided they are employed. And that is why you have the advantage today, ladies and gentlemen, that you can become Indra Nui, you can become Rakesh Kapoor, you can become anyone of that standing if you have the guts, the kind of smaller skills that I will talk to you in a few minutes from now, and be prepared for that. So that's why I was said you are part of truly a very exciting world. Less diversification, more pocket business. What is happening today across the globe, you would have been experiencing, every company would like to become either number 1 or top 10. Because it is a global village. Every company is thinking, how can I become globally number 1 company? Everybody is fighting for that market share. And you would have also seen the companies over a few years, either somebody has become a top-notch company or some company totally disappeared. Can you tell me one Indian company who totally got disappeared? It was a good company, yes?
Satyam.
Satyam, absolutely right. Some company totally disappeared. Even if you remember many years ago, there were many companies, even BPL, Western, so many TV companies, electronic company, they were there but they no longer exist. So can you believe why it is happening? Because every company has a vision today, those who are progressive companies saying, how can I become number 1 company or I have to become at least top 10 companies. So this is a challenge that we are finding across the world. So if this is the battle for market share, morning sir. So there is a battle for market share. So each and every company, you would have also noticed some of the companies that they don't want to do business that exists on the world. Every business that is, they want to be in select verticals where they want to become top 10 or number 1. Any example that you have in mind? Even company like Tata Group, they don't want to do every business that exists on this. Bharti Group, they don't want to do every business that exists. In those areas wherever they are, they want to become top 10 or number 1. So there is a war for market share, war for talent, war for more shareholder value. The shareholder value will come that how do you define your customers. So all that will happen when you find less diversification, more pocket business. If you look at one business like Reliance, they have so much financial muscle power, they can do any business that exists on the earth. But they don't want to do that business. They want to be in those businesses where they can become top 10 and number 1. Or even Bharti Group, they could have done any other business also. Look at even Tata Group or even Aditya Birla Group, which are the big companies of India, or even Mahindra Group. They could start any business. And I remember when I was doing my graduation, and I used to find Modi Group, Dalmia Group, all these groups virtually were in every business from Sri Taga se tire tak they were making. So because they wanted to have their presence in every business product and services. But now this no longer is the case. Otherwise you would have seen a company like Nokia would have only thought of telecom. Ultimately now it has got been acquired by the Microsoft. So you look at why they are not picking up any other business, because in whatever area they are, if they are big groups, they want to become their case for number 1 out of 10. The speed of market, the overriding need. The speed has become the key differentiator. I remember when our time, when we were doing our MBA, we were saying even the telephone is out of order for 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, many times it is 15 days. We were those years not even restless because we didn't have choice. But today for 1 second your BlackBerry goes out of order, or your any other phone goes out of order, or you don't get a pizza to whom you have already placed your order, you become restless because today you have more choices. You are virtually as customer are in a position to say yes, I cannot tolerate this, I can change my service provider. So you have a choice. So speed is the mantra for success. Merger acquisitions. Today you find globally the more and more companies either are getting merged or being acquired. This has become one of the key imperative for any business to grow organically, inorganically. Any example comes to your mind? Any company being yes, please?
Norton Jaguar.
Yeah, language, sir. Excellent. Well done. Yeah.
Mitra and Flipkart.
Absolutely fantastic. Yes. Any other name?
ArcelorMittal.
Absolutely fantastic. Yes. Absolutely. So why they are doing it? Any reason? Why they are being acquired or they are getting merged? Again, if you look at, you are truly part of globalized world, they want to become top company in that space. They want to get the largest market share. They want to get the largest consumer connect. That is the only mantra. You will find more and more such things happening as we progress your MBA, and when you move out in your careers, you will find such things happening more often. When you pick up Economic Times, you pick up any television channels, you find either this company being acquired or divested or having a joint venture. Simply, the mantra is that they want to become top company in the world. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Anything that I have not still covered? Technology innovation we have talked about. How technology has changed our lifestyles. Any other example of technology space? Yes?
I want to add one thing more.
Yeah.
Now there is easy to enter in the business.
Who?
Now there is easy to enter in the new business.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So there is no less benefits.
Yeah, absolutely right. So we have more flexibility in terms of entering into new business. Right, I agree with you. Well done. So technology innovations? Yes?
So, in 1990s, the systems were, computer systems were as bigger as the table.
Right.
And now we are having laptops and PDAs.
Absolutely right.
Tablets.
Absolutely
This is
right.
the kind of innovation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Today, if you see, nobody could even dream of having a car of ₹1 million plus like nano car. Even the Tata challenged the traditional way of thinking of the automobile company like Toyota or General Motors. Simply, nobody could even dare to think that we can get a car of ₹1 million plus. But it happened. It was sheer technological innovations, nothing beyond that. Any other example? I mean, today you are on Facebook, we are on Twitter. It is sheer technological innovations. Yes or no? So that's where the power of technology, called innovation, is all about. Next, internet in business development. I remember in our time when we used to do any business with any geography of the world, we have to literally send a person to transfer the documents or to visit that country. Today you can do business with e-commerce. Yes or no? By sheer sitting in one computer, you can translate so many information, your communications, your decisions. Today in this class, if you want to video relate, the video conferencing is possible. It is again through the power of internet. The power of internet is today is so much that you find that if you are not accessing internet, you are out of place. Oh, many people, I remember in a couple of years back, a lot of people used to say, how many times do you see your emails? Those times the idea was that, oh, I see once in a week. But today, if you are not able to see your email in 1 hour even, what a late person you are not efficient persons. If you are expecting to respond to your SMS, to your emails, or to any other communication as quickly as possible. Yes or no? So that's the power of internet and e-business development. Increasing expectations of both customer and employees. I remember when we used to get a job, we used to feel that time that we will retire from the company. Now, my first job was in Escort. I got that time 2 offers. One was in government job in All India Radio, which I did for some time. And then I also didn't like that job, then I joined Escorts. And believe me, that time I thought I will be only in Escorts. I will retire from there. And if you ask your parents, some of your, both mama, your dad or anyone, you can tell them that they must be working only for that company. Today, if you ask any youngsters like you, will you work for this company throughout your life? Perhaps the answer will be no. Yes or no? Yes or no? If I get better opportunity, I'll go there. No longer the loyalty is the syndrome. The more is the competitiveness is the syndrome. If you are competitive, you will be sought after everywhere. And that is why today every chief executive officer, every HR head is finding difficult to get first talent and then retain talent. You know, he has a huge, they are having a sleepless night. How do I get this good man? I remember, not to impress Professor D.B. Singh Savia, that he was sought after by Jabriya, that how can we get him in our business school? Otherwise, whatever he was making his own contribution in a more meaningful manner. Today, if I was in IMA and I moved from an IMA to an SRDN, it happened because I was getting more exposure, more opportunities to contribute. leave alone the money and compensation that you always get attracted. So that's where the challenge has changed. In earlier, you have limited choices, you only look for a job and the job used to be, oh, if I join this company, I'll always be there. There are companies, you'll find some company that I joined day one, I retired from this company. No change. Still you get a lot of companies, particularly the people senior enough. As similarly the customer is discerning. Do not think that your customer of today, suppose you are in automobile mobile business and you are selling cars. Okay, I will only be loyal to my General Motors, I will be loyal to only Toyota, I will be loyal only to Mahindra, I will only be loyal to Tata Motors. No guarantee. Who will be loyal to the customer demands and aspirations, that company will be more progressive, will do better. Am I able to make sense to all of you or no?
Yes,
So with that, what is happening, ever increasing mobility of talent. You find after 2 years, 3 years, I met one guy, and there was an exit interview of that guy with his earlier boss. He said, why do you want to change this company? You are so happy here. So he said, no, my other similar, my colleague who were studying with me, they have changed 3-4 jobs and I have not even changed one job. So that was a sort of the reason that he gave to his HR head, that I am changing the job because my other peer groups have changed the jobs. And I am not able to change the jobs. So can you believe that company that he was working was a great company. And he left that company because there was a peer pressures. Arey yaar, you are staying in the same company, we have changed so many jobs, because so many change, increase in our salary, facility, you are as of now status quo. So it is happening more often now. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much pressure on business or even as manager tomorrow when you will pass out your MBA to perform as per customer aspirations. With that, if I have to define this change, how things have changed, if you look at, there is accelerating pace of change. The change is happening so fast. Customer expectations have gone manifold. The technology has become the key driver of your business. You cannot no longer ignore technology. Competition has become the order of the day. You name any product and services, there is a competition. Time, speed to market has become the mantra of success. You no longer can say, no, I will deliver this service by tomorrow. Everybody wants to get response instantly. If your refrigerator at your home is not being attended in 24 hours, you become restless. That's where the speed that companies are looking from managers like you. Government regulations are getting easier day by day. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can you get me one regulator that comes to your mind in specific business? There are so many regulators. Huh? SEBI is one regulator, market regulator. Yes. Absolutely right. So there are regulators. Earlier the entire government was running the businesses, but no longer these businesses are being regulated by government. There is a regulatory body. In just for telecom, we call it PRAI. That decides the future of that business. Employability has become again the key challenge for Indian businesses, and talent scarcity is the order of the day. Employee demands are increasing, so the customer wants. So there is a pressure for radical rethinking. If you have to define all these changes from what it was pre-liberalization and post-liberalization, earlier we were happy with only a better product, and later on we also were looking faster product, because people used to be on the queue. You know, for everything they used to buy, they have to be in the queue, telephone, motor, car, scooter, all these, they have to be in the queue. But now, they don't only want better and faster, they want cheaper as well. Why cheaper? Because there is a cheap choice. So much if you want, whenever you buy it, even mobile phone, which everybody today possesses, that you go to so many vendors, no? Which is the best mobile I can have, which has more features, which is cost effective, which has better options. Yes or no? All that you have the flexibility to do this. So at this point of time, you want all and much more. So if that is the kind of scenario that you see and experience in today's business, then what kind of leaders and managers will need? This is my second part of my thought process with you that I will spend next 10 or 15 minutes with you. So if I have to just provoke you that if you want to be successful in life, not necessarily being manager, in any sphere of your life, what is one skill that one should have?
Risk taking and everything.
Yeah?
Risk taking and everything.
Risk taking abilities. Very good, well done. Anyone else?
Sir, leadership quality.
Yeah?
Leadership quality.
Leadership quality.
Forecasting ability.
Focus.
Forecasting.
Very good.
Have to be proactive.
Proactive.
Decision making.
Huh?
Decision making.
Decision making.
Open to change.
Open to change. Flexibility.
Good knowledge.
Huh?
Good knowledge.
Good knowledge. Content.
Far-sighted.
Yeah?
Far-sighted.
Far-sightedness. Vision.
So dynamic in thoughts.
Huh?
Dynamic in thoughts.
Dynamic in thoughts.
Anticipative.
Huh?
Anticipative.
Anticipative. Who can anticipate things, how they will happen. Yes. Very good.
Adaptable.
Adaptability. Flexibility. I give it to you.
Innovator.
Innovative.
Competitive spirit.
Competitive spirit. Still more are left to become successful employer.
Team spirit.
Team spirit, excellent.
Good communicator.
Good communicator. Yes, I give it to you. Without that, you cannot tell. You cannot sell yourself unless you communicate. What else? But nobody talked about having a positive attitude. To me, the first thing, if that is whatever little experience that I've got, I would like to say that a person should be positive attitude, should have a positive attitude to do something in life. And I would like to take you to a study which All India Management Association did a couple of years ago with the help of Professor Abad Ahmad and Dr. O.P. Chopra. And they studied 20 companies and also 20 companies CEOs. And one common quality among all the 20 CEOs was they were having positive attitude. That is why they succeeded. Then after a while, when this study was presented and debated in one of the forums of IMA, one of the participants said, what is so great about it? No, everybody should have a positive attitude, nothing great about it. Then these people, same people, went back to the 20 people again. Okay, this, our findings that we have shared with the group, they are saying what is so great about it. Then what is the further to positive attitude? And you will not believe, this group again went to 20 people and they said, what is common about, one more question was asked to them. They said, passion to win. Anybody who will have positive attitude will also have a junoon in him or her. If you have junoon in you, you can do anything that you wish to achieve in your life. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this was the common quality among 20 such people, and I will give you some names of those people. They succeeded in their life. And I am giving you some names of only business leaders because this junoon will apply to sports, science, technology. You name any discipline, the junoon is required. The Saina Nehwal recently won the championship where? Australia. Can you why? Because she had junoon in her. Why Mahendra Singh Dhoni won every format of the cricket, be it 20 or 50 or even the cricket match, because of passion to win. Passion to win. He was a simple, middle class person originating from a small town, but what was common about Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Saina Nehwal was passion to win. So what, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to advocate to you that since you have decided to do MBA, since you are part of this career, the first thing that you should have a very positive attitude. The more glorified word of positive attitude is the passion in you to achieve something in life. How can I make a difference to my society? How can I make a difference to my peers, to my organizations? That kind of passion you need to have. Look at some of the examples. Brisbane Munjal, I gave you an example. Brisbane Munjal was a small shopkeeper many years ago in Ludhiana. If you look at his biography, and today he is the largest motorcycle producer in the world. What is the name of the company? Hero Motorcycle. He is not a MBA by the way, but what was common? Passion to win. that yes, I will create a company of this size and take it to across the world, which will be the largest, so far largest. By the way, Honda is giving tough competition right now to Hero MotoCorp. Look at Narayana Murthy. Almost 30 years ago, he created this company, Infosys. And believe me, some of you look at his biography, he didn't have even money, enough money to start a company called Infosys. He took loan from his wife. And how much that loan, if you understand, it was 10,000 rupees, those years. And today the Infosys is a global company. First company to be listed in Nasdaq, and perhaps each one of you would be looking forward to work for this company. So it is a sheer case of story of passion. And if you again look at the Narayana Murthy initial background when he did his primary education, again small town fellow. But today he is a household name. Anybody who will say who is Narayana Murthy, perhaps who are in business will know who is Narayana Murthy. Yes or no? Look at Kishore Biyani in recent years. What was again common with him? Passion. Look at Sunil Mittal. From which business he moved from to telecom business. Now from telecom businesses, ladies and gentlemen, if you know, he's getting into agri businesses, he's getting into retail, it is getting into insurance, he's getting into infrastructures. The kind of vision that he has got. If tomorrow there is a limit that telecom business can reach or grow, he is thinking beyond. So that is called passion. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So these are people, some of the people were part of our research study, and you will come to know that how passion is important in life. So how many people believe passion or positive attitude is the first key thing that you should have to become successful, employable managers? Raise your hands. Oh, I'm glad, everyone. Well done. Now next quality, some of you have said creativity, innovation. Who said that innovation among you, that yes, it is the key attribute to become successful? Who said innovation, creativity? Yes. So what was your thinking behind this? I have already given you some examples.
As there are many products in the market,
Right.
so you have to innovate some new things.
Yeah. True. I gave you earlier when I was talking to you, what was Facebook? Nobody heard of Facebook in our time when we did our MBA. Nobody heard of even Apple computer, by the way, on those years. Now tablet of that nature has come. Nobody even heard of in our time, leave alone a nano car having ₹1 million plus. They challenged every traditional way of producing cars. Toyota even said, how can Ratan Tata think of producing a car of ₹1 million plus? Now every global company of automobile sector thinking of getting a car similar around, similar technology or similar conveniences. So you saw that example. Look at Cabin Care. What have you heard of Cabin Care?
Yes, sir.
What is Cabin Care company?
It's
Is it which company? Which sector it is? FMCG, yes. So what is the innovation they did? Any example comes to your mind? They did a small innovation in packaging. Earlier, so-called shampoo used to be packaged in the big bottles. They brought getting shampoo packaged in ₹1 pots. It was small. How they can challenge? And if you look at the Hindustan Unilever, P&G, the global companies, everybody then copied Cabin Care. But it was small innovation in packaging. Look at even IPL. The earlier this kind of a cricket was being played across the world, but especially the way he redefined packaging cricket, where everybody started winning, be cricketer, be sponsor, be audience, be anybody else part of that game. And now other countries are copying similar kind of tournament called IPL in other countries. So this is one way of innovations. So you need to be creative. Whenever you join a company, you have to think how things I can challenge and how can make it them different, be in terms of cost, processes, or otherwise. And somebody said flexibility. Who said flexibility? Adaptability, somebody has said. Yes, you have to be adaptable. And I want to give you only one example. When Reliance came into telecom market, they said, "Kar lo duniya muthi mein," but they could not do it. Who did it? Bharti Airtel. So far, they are market leader in the telecom sectors. But it is not their birthright to be a market leader, by the way. Tomorrow, anybody who will come to so close to customer aspirations, whatever customer will need, if they can deliver, that company or person will be the market leader. So you need to think that how can I define my customer centricity, how can I come to near to their aspirations and make the business model around that. If you can do that, you will always be successful. So there are other examples. I don't have to elaborate in the interest of time. Next quality I want to say, efficiency. Yes or no? How many people believe efficiency will be another quality that will be required? Company like Blue Dot, whenever there is a last date, that suppose there is a last date for MAT, and you want to give your document to IMA for submission of documents, and you are somewhere in a remote place, which closer courier company comes to your mind that yes, it is 100% will deliver? It is DHL or Blue Dot, yes or no? Yes, sir. Otherwise, there are millions of courier companies in every nook and corner of the city. So, who promises you to deliver what you have been asked for? If you can do that, that kind of managers are required by the companies. In real sense, if I have to give an example, suppose you are in the refrigerator business and you are a customer support manager and you got a call at 5 p.m. My refrigerator is out of order. The customer is expecting to respond to you to repair the refrigerator within the same day. If you say that, okay, no, my time is up to 5:30, I will leave, today I cannot do it, tomorrow I will do it. That is one option. The other option will come what it may, I may go 2 hours late, but I will see to this complaint is addressed and refrigerator is repaired. So whose managers will be more sought after? The person who will complete the job, or the person who is saying, I will do it next day? So there is the answers. So that kind of efficiency companies are looking from you when you become managers or leaders or entrepreneurs, when you move out of the campus. Quality. What do you mean by quality to you? Zero defect. Which has no defect. There are companies in India, Sundaram Fastener, Bharat Forge, which are zero defect companies. They are being outsourced by company like General Motors and General Electrics. It has no rejection, by the way, no rejection. Otherwise, sometimes you hear in the newspaper, no, that so many cars are being recalled, so many motorcycles are being recalled because there is a defect. Even our Air India, aircraft, Dreamliner, there was some defect. Can you believe? Can you look at that kind of loss it will have? Suppose it is having a defect. So what ultimately today I want to communicate to you that companies are also looking zero defect managers. You need to be zero defect managers. That is what I want to essentially stress upon you. Even IIMs, you must have thought of joining IIMs or IITs simply because of quality. Yes or no? Or when do you say brand like Fevicol or Colgate? Whenever you go to any shop, you don't say, give me toothpaste. You say, give me Colgate. The brand is so powerful, no, in terms of quality. You're so sure about that if I'm buying Colgate, it has zero defect. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
When you buy Fevicol, you're assured of that whatever you are thinking, the purpose behind it. The brand itself makes you feel that they are not saying, give me the product of Pidilite, or give me the purpose of the reason that I am buying the Fevicols. It is sheer value of quality that this is the product I need and this is what I need to be there. So please ensure that when you pass out, when you do your MBA during the campus, off the campus, that how can I be zero defect managers. Executions hold the key to success. I can give you any number of hours of lectures, much easier. But how many of us are good in translating ideas into actions. You will come across in your company when you work, ये आदमी बहुत बात करता है. He only talks, but he is not able to deliver. Today's companies are looking for those kind of managers and leaders who can not only have ideas but also translate the ideas into action, who can make things happen. This quality you need to have both. You are not conceptually sound, you are not only having knowledge but also at the same time skills to implement it. There is an example of giving you a Delhi Metro. There is a world-class managers I always regard and admire is Mr. E. Sridhar. He also ran a government company like Delhi Metro. He worked in the same business environment and he created an experience out of Delhi Metro. Today if I ask you whether you would like to get a better experience in Rajdhani or Shatabdi or in Delhi Metro, perhaps you must think that I get better experience when I travel in Delhi Metro. Not because of your love and charity sake, just because your experience. Can you believe when Sridharan retired from Delhi Metro, he said, the one job I could not complete. Lot of people were started doubting it. What is the one job that he must have not completed?